welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber King of the Depths, and this is Turbo Zenith Nadu combo. This is the exact 75 that Brady Monroe finished in the finals of a local MoxJet Legacy tournament on the weekend of Modern Horizons 3 release. King of the Depths was spitballing ideas back and forth with me about how to build Nadu and how fast he wants it to go and stuff, and I just showed him Brady's list and just snapped it off. So shout out Brady. This build of the deck is basically all in on Nadu. There is one Uro, and I guess technically BRISTLY built, if left unchecked, could win a game. But you are really trying to get Nadu into play and immediately get insurmountable advantage, or even flip your whole deck and win with Thassa's Oracle. 4 copies of Nomad's en-kor. This card is more fragile, usually harder to find in terms of Urza Saga and Stoneforge Mystic and stuff, compared to Shuko, but it's way better. You get to hit any number of cards you're going to hit at instant speed. With a Shuko, you get 1 equip, and then like Swords to Plowshares can break it up. Nomad's en-kor, if it's in play, as soon as Nadu resolves, you just spam activations on all your creatures, and then you pass the turn, then you do it again, because this is an instant speed ability, and Nadu resets each turn, not each of your turns. And the construction of this deck is just to put these 2 permanents into play and then protect them. Teferi Time Raveler, Force of Will, Cavern of Souls. You can name Core or Wizard with this, or Bird, or Nomad, I guess. I'm just saying card types now. I'm checking for any overlap. We've got a Plant Druid, a Merfolk Wizard, so there's 2 wizards in the deck. This is an Elder Giant. This is a Nomad Core Soldier. This is a Halfling Citizen. This is a Human Wizard. Okay, so Wizard is the most common one. Always do that exercise when you have Cavern of Souls in your deck. Green Sun Zenith can find the Nadu. It can find the Bristly Bill if you already have Nadu. The Nomad's en-kor has to show up naturally. You have to cantrip into it or just have it. But boy, does the game end when you have it. And that's what's going on here. There is nothing sexy about this. This is just, here's a bird. Can you deal with it? Let's go. I'm on the draw in round 1. I have no interaction, neither half of the combo directly, but I do have a lot of ponders. And you know me, I'm in. Brady lost the finals and the match for the MoxJet in the tournament where this deck was debuted to Ross Merriam on Dimir Scam. So basically the out-of-town villain on the default boring best deck with no new MH3 cards in it. He wasn't even playing Psychic Frog, I don't think. He knew about Psychic Frog. I saw him working on the deck, but I think he determined that with the number of Wastelands he was playing, Orcish Bowmaster was easier to cast. I think the deck has evolved a lot since then, and Psychic Frog's probably right. But guess what? We're playing against Scam. The finals! We're back! They pitched an Entomb. Luckily, my hand is not offended by a single card being removed. Maybe not even 2 cards being removed. I think if I win this match, I should get a MoxJet, though. What do you think? Vote in the comments. I think I should get Ross Merriam's MoxJet if I win this match. How about that? Specifically that one. Ross, weigh in. Okay, they took one of my Zeniths. Oh, wow, that sucks. Thassa's Oracle 2 lands. I don't want any of that shit. Swords of Plowshares. That's one of the better cards for the matchup. If they reanimate Grief, it's not going to matter. It'll just be gone. But it's a good one to find. Here we go. Reanimated the Grief. Pretty glad that Entomb got pitched, because that would have just been a monster. That might mean they have another Entomb. If they start wastelanding me, I'm not stoked about that either. They do appear to be playing on 1 land, which I like. I think I'd rather Ponder than Brainstorm. Though, no, I am going to Brainstorm, because if I find a fetch land, this gets a lot better. There's a fetch land. I can get rid of Basic Plains and Tropical Island. I do understand they're a wasteland deck. I am just playing with the full forward velocity of thinking they don't have one right now because they didn't waste me last turn. There's a Ponder from them. If I can get this Teferi down, things are actually pretty interesting. And if I untap, I get the Teferi down, because that's what Halfling does. They shuffled their Ponder. Still no land. They have another main phase coming, but currently no land is in play. Oh, baby. Baited the land. We're cooking. Teferi, Time Raveler get in here. Cast this card. I'm going to ponder before I do anything with Teferi, see what I come up with. These cards are not helpful. I don't care about them. I'm going to shuffle that. Okay, 2 Zeniths means I'm okay bouncing the Grief. I didn't want to bounce Grief and have them pitch and clear my Zenith if I didn't have a follow-up, but now that I have 2 of them, it's actually fine. I'm still in trouble if they just shove a Atraxa or Archon of Cruelty into play, but we're starting to make some progress here. Cycling Troll. They found their second land, kind of. Eventually. And casting Ponder. They could still come up with a black card to pitch to Grief, which they probably should. I am marching inexorably towards a powerful spell, and they know I'm holding Zenith. Okay, I can Ponder here and try to find Nomads, and then just send it if I find it. I'll take this Brainstorm. Not use Ponder's ability. If I plus Teferi, I can Zenith at instant speed, which I'm extremely excited about. I'm just going to pass here. Have this instant speed Zenith for 3 available to me. I can Zenith for Nadu in the end step, untap Zenith for Bristly Bill, and at least we have an engine going. I could also use Zenith to shuffle Brainstorm, but I don't have quite enough mana for what I want to do with all that. There's not a main deck Endurance. There's 2 in the sideboard. If they do shove Archon of Cruelty or some shit right now, I might be in some trouble. Psychic Frog. I don't care. Alright. Should be able to beat that thing. Fetching for Tundra. And then I'm going to Zenith for 3 in the end step. Then we start Nadu in it. Nadu? Oh, or we could just draw Bristly Bill. Straight up. A green legendary mana. Not that I need that. Right, Bristly Bill coming in. There's probably some high-level sequencing here where I should Brainstorm before I Cavern or something. I think I'm just going to Cavern first. This is going to be on Wizard. Bristly Bill targets Nadu. Now, lands are good flips and spells are good flips. We're mostly doing it here. Hit a fetch land immediately. Let's party. I'm going to target Nadu again. Lands keep coming. Target Bill. Another land. Just 3 in a row. Target Bill. Halfling still has 2 targets on it. I can still Zenith for something. Jeez, another fetch land. Let's go. I can also fetch Dryad Arbor if I'm about to run out of targets. Okay, I think I should actually just fetch the 2 Dryad Arbors first. I'm going to plus Teferi as well, in case I need a Zenith mid-combo to keep anything going. For 5 mana, I can double the counters on all my creatures. That is not enough to kill my opponent yet. I'm going to fetch for Dryad Arbor, target Dryad Arbor with Bill, and then I'm going to fetch again in response and get the other Dryad Arbor. I don't know if I need to do it like, but I've done it like that. Ponder, land, target Dryad Arbor again. Safekeeper, now they can't ever do anything. Fetch, get Savannah. I have 1 more target on this Dryad Arbor. We spiked it to Teferi. I guess I will now Ponder. Or is there a green card that makes this more deterministic? No, we're just in Insano time at this point. But I would really like to find a Nomad. And they can't be Force of Will either. So if I put Brainstorm, Force of Will, Island back on top of the deck. Oh, I messed this up. I played my land already. Does that matter? I mean, it's not ideal. I was supposed to do that the other way. I can play Uro. I can Zenith for a fresh Nadu and go again. Is that how we do this? Like, if I had Nomads, I would definitely go for a fresh Nadu. I could also just Brainstorm and pass the turn and never lose. Brainstorm, put the island back in that I kept last time. Whoopsie doozies. I don't think I need this Uro. I can Zenith for 1, get another halfling. I just want to shuffle right now. So Teferi can draw a fresh card. Blue-white colorless. Teferi, bounce the Psychic Frog. And now I just bash and have double force in my hand. No Nomad, no problem. Nadu does enough. There was probably a way to do more that turn, but I'm in garbage time where it doesn't matter. Okay. Veil of Summer, Endurance come in. Flusterstorm seems good enough. We saw the Frog. I don't think Pick Your Poison is good enough for this matchup. It can kill a Resolved Atraxa or Archon, but so can Teferi and Plow, which are cards I don't want to make room for. Prismatic Ending hits the low end of their deck. And this part's really interesting because I don't like Force of Will versus Scam, but I do like when I'm a combo deck with Force of Will in it. I think my Teferis and Veil of Summers are going to do that work. I don't want Prismatic Ending. I'm just bringing in different kinds of interaction. I'm not going down interaction. I'm actually going up interaction. It's just more efficient interaction. Safekeeper's kind of dope. I need every Nomad and Nadu. It could be Teferi that gets the chop here. I'm thinking Teferi or Safekeeper. Does this deck actually play removal? Safekeeper is also a way to spam activations onto your creatures with Nadu in play, but I don't think I'm interested in it for that reason. I will play the game like this. 2 Plows, the harder part of my combo to find, and Zenith that can find the other half. This is a perfectly good hand versus Scam. We are seeing kind of the weakness of building your deck this aggressively, this all in, because Nomad is not a good Magic card on its own, and Dryad Arbor is not a good Magic card on its own either. But we still have to keep hands like this. Veil of Summer, put that in my veins. I was about to start weighing the pros and cons of Zenithing for the other Arbor here, but now that Veil's up, we're doing that. Ponder. Do not shuffle. Here comes Grief, pitching Shoulder's Edict. I will, I guess, Tropical Island here. Is this my only chance to fetch a white source with my hand? Savannah. I do have basic island ready. Yeah, I guess Savannah is the way. They've already made their land drop, so I'm not getting wasted this turn. I'll at least get to do one thing. They could force or daze this and get a Grief through. Yep, daze, good stuff. Okay. And we're off. I at least made them have that, though. They took a Zenith. Always happy to see Brainstorm in my life. I'm worried about Wasteland, but I'm not going to cast Nomad's en-kor. I'd rather hold up Plow versus their deck, generally speaking. Not a Wasteland, we did it. We know one of the cards in their hand is Undercity Sewers right now. Animate Dead, okay. I'm gonna let this resolve, and then Plow Grief, and then Brainstorm, in that order. Wanna hide the goods. Brainstorm, Zenith Nomads, or Zenith Plow, that's better. They can take a Nomad. So I've removed their ability to even make a decision here. They just take a Nomad, and then I'm drawing interaction, and the Zenith is the next thing coming. I have to play Dryad Arbor if I'm going to Zenith next turn, so I will invest my Nomads into play here. A lot of the time cards are safer in play than they are in your hand versus Scam anyway. If they have something like Bowmasters, I can move the damage onto Dryad Arbor. Sewers is back. They kept the card. That's terrifying. And I didn't register this deck to not send it. Here we go. Big bird time, question mark, exclamation point, Interrobang. Ooh, force pitching Ponder. All right. They survive for the turn. I'm going to attack. If they have a flash creature like Bowmaster, it's going to mess me up anyway, so let's just get the point. Cycling Troll. 1 card remaining in hand, plus the land they just tutored for. Yeah, I don't care about this. I'm holding Plow. They don't know that. I hit it off the Brainstorm earlier. Help an opponent, Nadu off the top. That is not doing it. Plow your Troll, attack for 2. And I'm going to fetch one of the Surveil lands and try to... I think I only have 1 Surveil land. I think there's just Meticulous Archive. But I'm going to fetch it and try to find Nadu before they stabilize. Fetch in the end step, Meticulous Archive. Have a look. Don't want to Windswept Heath. Wasteland can kill Dryad Arbor. Wowee! Welcome to hell. I'll be your mayor. The mayor of hell is me. Sometimes you just draw the card you want. And we're just spamming, drawing 6 cards now at minimum. Drawing another 6 at minimum on their upkeep. Okay, I did flip a land, which means I can Zenith for Bill. And go again. Yeah, they've had enough. Sick. All right, Ross Merriam, you owe me a Mox Jet. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the play in round 2 with a hand that is soft to Wasteland, but I am going to keep it. Whether to Zenith for Arbor or play Halfling is actually an interesting decision, because Arbor can play Halfling on turn 2, but Halfling can't Zenith for Arbor if I do get Wastelanded. But Halfling is the high roll. Any land that taps for blue or white just puts Teferi on the stack in a way that can't be interacted with. Also, I think generically the play pattern of Wastelanding a person when you're on the draw and they played a Mana Dork with their land is usually wrong. So I'm just going to take my bets here. Yavimaya, okay. Mana problems are absolved. Come on, good card. Cavern of Souls. Oh, right. Halfling taps for colors, so I don't actually need anything out of this land except to be untapped. Blue, white, colorless. Teferi's in. I'm going to plus. I don't know what this deck's doing, but it probably has permanents in it if it has Yavimaya. They didn't crop rotate in response to Teferi, which would have been their opportunity to do that. All right, we've got some Eldrazi. They have 4 mana accessible for Eldrazi spells. Okay, when you cast this spell and when it dies, make a spawn. The spawn filters colorless mana out, so they have another 4 mana for Eldrazi spells right now. They could pop off here. Ooh, Fleshraker. Let's see how many spells come my way. This could be a lot of damage this turn. They floated a green and then passed priority. That has to be a misclick of some variety. That was... Okay, can I win right now? Not yet. Okay, so we've got a 3/3 and a 2/2. This has a cast trigger. This is affected by other cards that you might play. I can't cast Ponder right now. I can cast Swords to Plowshares. I think I want to bounce the Repurposer. Sick. All right, now I can Ponder, or I can just Zenith for Nadu. I think I'd rather Ponder and set up a win for next turn. This is a forest right now. It also casts Wizards, which this is, so I can cast Sylvan Safekeeper 2 different ways. Okay, this is my only access to blue, so I'm going to take it. Ponder. There's a Nadu right on the tippity top. I will draw the Windswept Teeth, Swords to Plowshares, their creature, play Sylvan Safekeeper as a wizard, and then attack for 1, and hope that I just get to go off next turn. Cavern of Souls. There's now 5 mana for Eldrazi. Fleshraker's back. That's a different Fleshraker, not the same one. Okay, here's this dope again. This is the same one. I'm going to take 2 from the Raker. They're back up to 5 mana for Eldrazi purposes with 3 cards in their hand. Oh, I take 3. This is also colorless. That's right. Ayabugan is tapped. Sowing Mycospawn. This tutors a land, put it onto the battlefield. If this gets like Gaia's Cradle, they could just shred at me. Cast some large number of things. Ancient Tomb is the decision. They have 2 cards left in hand. I do take another 2 damage from the Raker. They have 6 mana available for Eldrazi spells right now. Stripping the Nomad's really bad for me, actually. It was one of the last cards I could have been worried about. Oh, they took the Zenith! We got him! Got him on the hook. Please don't have another Thought Knight as the last card in hand. I guess that makes sense. I know my top card. They don't. No! Ah! What do you play, 7 of those? This is bullshit. I'm quitting Magic. Okay, we've probably lost now. I'm drawing Nadu for turn, who... I mean, I can dump Sylvan Safekeeper activations into it. I guess they are kind of all in over there. They have a lot of power and toughness in play, though. 2 Thought-Knot Seers as the last 2 cards in hand. And they needed the Mycospawn to... and the second Fleshraker. This was just like a full squad effort to make this happen. All right, it's fine. It's fine. What can I do now? Okay, so I think I go blue, green, colorless, play Nadu, and just start deleting my lands and hoping something works. All right, I'm going to make Halfling uncounterable. Or, I don't know why I said uncounterable. Untargetable. Okay, so that's a Zenith. I can go for 1. How much damage is in play right now? Too much is the answer. Once this gets Shroud, I can't target it anymore, so I have to decide how many lands I'm sacrificing up front. I'm sacking another land in response. I flipped a land. This thing's done being targeted anyway, so I can let these resolve. Now I can Zenith for 2. And big ol' Bristly Bill. Alright. Let's make a game out of this. And I'm not going to fetch, because I actually do want to hit lands. Alright, Wild Bill. Let's get him. Target Safekeeper. Sacking my Tundra. Flip Dryad Arbor. I'll put a +1 counter on Nadu, because that gets it bigger than Thought-Knot Seer. +1 counter on Safekeeper. Safekeeper's out of targets. Through another Nadu. Okay, Safekeeper's now untargetable. I can fetch for Dryad Arbor is a blocker. Okay, I'm going to get Dryad Arbor. I'm going to put my second target on Nadu just to help myself keep track of who I've targeted. Force of Will's in my hand. Now, I'm going to make Dryad Arbor untargetable by sacrificing Misty Rainforest. Hey, let's go! You nut draw me, I nut draw you. But I'm a blue deck, which means I'm strictly better than you in every way. Stupid colorless horse hockey. Okay. I blacked out for a second. Did I say anything toxic? Does Force of Vigor actually do anything? I didn't actually see any artifacts or enchantments, just big stupid creatures. I don't even know if I sideboard here. This is just the deck. Here we go. I should assume they have some sort of prison elements, though. Teferi actually seems kind of mid. He was part of that game. Like, I don't think I was dead to the double Flesh Raker, but it would have done a lot of damage. And then it did draw me one card, and I needed every card to make that work. Gotta get these Force of Vigors in here, though. Somehow, some way. Sylvan Safekeeper, though. MVP. What's up, man? Shout out to my opponent for the Yavimaya layup. Is Uro too slow, or is it exactly what the doctor ordered if I settle into a Bant game? I think Uro is actually great. Answered my own question. Yeah, I think Teferi's probably just worse than Force of Vigor. I'm going like this. If I see a bunch of prison stuff in game 2, because they're built more like a combo deck than a prison deck. If I see a bunch of prison stuff this game, I can bring in the prismatic endings as well. I can rock with this. I like Swords to Plowshares. I like that I have the hard half of my combo. Eldrazi Temple. Zenith. What do I want to do with that? I could just start next turn with 3 mana. This is my route eventually to a Nadu. If I Zenith for Arbor, I could play Bristly Bill next turn, then make my land drop, put a +1 counter on something, play Nomad, and be set up crazy for the next Nadu I find. I'm going to do that. Dryad Arbor's in. I expect a Dismember or something here. Yep. There. That was going to get me eventually. Flushing it out on a Dryad Arbor is not that bad. 4 Eldrazi mana, or 2 regular mana. And that's pretty good against my hand. Not going to lie. Delighted Appling. You try so hard, but you don't work. Okay, Force of Vigor is a good draw. Land is a fine draw if I can just make Bristly Bill large. 6 Eldrazi mana. Or more if they have multiple spells, because Ayavugan reduces every spell. They need a Lotus Petal to make a color here. Sowing Mycospawn, Con Queso, so they're going to strip mine me and tutor a land. Horrible. Okay, this thing is a 3/3. Oh, yeah. Disgusting. You know, fetch land makes me the biggest thing on board. Okay, let's just draw a fetch land. How about that? Magic's easy. Told you. +1 counter on Bill. And I can attack. If they block, I'll fetch. If they don't block, I'll just leave my fetch up because they've identified to me that they're a Wasteland deck. I'm not going to push the extra damage through if I don't have to. I can fetch Meticulous Archive if they don't play a Wasteland this turn. The Raker. 2 cards left in hand. And if they build up enough spawns, it won't take too many to start activating Ayavugan. So I guess Eldrazi Temple does not feed Ayavugan. It was Lex Command. Oh no, this exiles my thing. Exile target creature with mana value X or less. Interesting. So they chose to make a bunch of spawns and draw a card rather than kill my Bill, which is the only thing I have going on. I accept. That does deal 3 damage to me with the Raker. And it ramps a bunch of mana that could start activating Ayavugan or just find some follow-up play here. Okay, I take 3. They scryed 1 to the top and 2 to the bottom with their command. Cavern of Souls. 1 card left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could cast a 7-drop right now. Okay, Reshaper. They're all in. They've got a lot of power on the board. Maybe me attacking with Bill was aggressive, but at the time I was way ahead on board, and that is suddenly just not close to true anymore. I will be pumping the brakes. They're in top deck mode. They can activate Ayavugan next turn, though, with all their spawns. All right, Meticulous Archive better come up with something good. Archive, grow my Bill. Honor's not it. Blue Source lets me play a blocker at least. Nadu. Someday. Okay, I guess I will sit here waiting to die or get to 3 mana, whichever happens first. This Ayavugan activation is really bad for me. I can't imagine they won't be able to kill me with that. Like, if they just tutor another Mycospawn and exile my archive, or they could just do way better and set up a 2-turn line where they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then they have 3 spawns left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they could just like Ulamog me next turn. Chalice of the Void is cheating. Okay, here comes Eye of Ugin. They're leaving up Eldrazi Temple and Cavern of Souls. Nope, changed their mind. Come on now. Realized Eldrazi Temple taps for more mana than Yavimaya does. They can cast a 7-drop right now. They got Sowing Micah Spawn. Yeah, okay. I'm good. I don't need to keep doing this. That was sweet. I mean, horrible, but sweet. Prismatic Ending. I'm going to make room for you. Teferi, you're out. Do I actually want Thassa's Oracle? Am I going to win a game that way? Or do I just get overwhelming advantage? I guess with the Flesh Rakers in their deck, I could just lose if I pass the turn. This is a blue card for Force also. I don't want to bring in Disruptor Flute and name Eye of Ugin. It turns off their tutors, but I don't want to play a game that's taking that long. I think I'm losing a game where I have to do that. You know they're a Wasteland deck. I actually think it is Thassa's Oracle. Like, I should just get some overwhelming advantage. But if they have 10 0/1s in play, combat damage isn't really going to kill them either. Could be a halfling because it's kind of a bad draw later. But I do want a mass of the ability to do that early. All right. Halfling's out. I'm not confident in it, but I don't see a better cut. I could cut like Cavern of Souls instead because they don't have counter spells. But if I had Cavern, I could have resolved Halfling last game through the Chalice. Speaking of which, I will keep this hand. I think I just have to lean into Wasteland and fetch the Savannah here. I did notice during sideboarding the blue card is slightly irresponsible for Force, and we are getting punished for it now. Opponent went to 5. That helps. Savannah, Halfling, get in there. There's the Temple. Are we getting our member dist? You call that a member? Okay, I can save this Zenith, or I could just get another Halfling and keep the train moving forward. I think I want to get a Halfling and just make sure I can do stuff when I find it. The Halfling doesn't provide any colors for Prismatic Ending, and they have shown me a bunch of 3 and 4 drops I care about. I have Ugin, 3 for 3. They mulled to 5. It's reasonable to have it. The command, slurping away my Halfling. Command for 2. This card's really sweet, by the way. Every time I see it, it's impressive. I don't think I like that Eldrazi have a powerful instant that works with all their synergy stuff. I feel like the cost of doing business with the Eldrazi creatures should be that you don't get dope spells like this, but go on then. They top bottom their Scry. I like what they found. I would rather get Meticulous Archive and get some selection in this spot than get the Dryad Arbor out. This Force of Will, deeply embarrassing. Yavimaya. Repurposer. I hardly know her. Ha ha ha. Myco Spawn with trigger. Jeez, that happens fast. Modern Horizons 3 design team out there, like, you know what Eldrazi needs? Not only efficient instants and sorceries, but let's give them Frenzy Tilling on a 3/3 that is buffed by every single thing we've ever made that buffs Eldrazi. It's way better than Frenzy Tilling, though. Okay, Meticulous Archive, do something. Nomads, I guess I keep it. My only way out of this is to high roll into Nadu over multiple turns at this point. Hey, Nomad, 2 mana. Myco Spawn tutoring Wasteland is fudged up. Sick. You thought you were playing Magic. You're not playing Magic. Chalice on 1. Okay. Finally a card I don't care about. I just need to draw land, Nadu. That's not even enough because I will be dead in exactly that amount of time. And this game is no longer winnable. Had to run insanely hot here. I don't even know what the sequence is that gets me out, but it's not this. GG. Really cool deck. I don't like that this exists, but I respect it. On to the next round. We're done. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables. I am on the play in round 3. I will Island Ponder keep this hand. I think I Zenith for Arbor to start the game though. Accelerate this Nadu out here, see what's going on. Drop, Zenith, tried Arbor, and pass. Let's see what my opponent's working with. They kept 7. Swords of Plowshares immediately on that. Okay. The Plow they won't have later. Cavern of Souls looks good versus this Tundra Gamer. Whatever they're doing. Delighted Halfling. I think I am happy enough with a Halfling that I'm not going to shuffle it. Fetch for Savannah and drop this buddy. 1 mana dork replaced by another. And once again, removed. Alright, we're just fishing out removal here, left and right. Nadu, okay. Cavern on Wizard. Now that I have 2 of these, I'll just play 1, and if they kill it, I get to draw a card, and then I have another one. Just playing Leovold right now. Swords of Plowshares, when we get a flip to Zenith, and Nadu's gone. That was as honest a 2-for-1 as you're ever going to get. Okay, I'll Ponder this time. Brainstorms and Uros. I could just play Uro here, get something else going. I could take Brainstorm, try to do the other thing. I think I'm more interested in Brainstorm. And I could Zenith for Bristly Bill here. Or I could cast Brainstorm. I think I'd rather Zenith. Just try to get something going if I get to stick Nadu next turn. Just do literally anything with it, rather than nothing. William! There he is. Whistly William. I'm going to crack some fetches. But if they back to basics me, I'm going to be inconsolable. Seems likely, actually. Yep, cracking a 3rd land. Narset, okay. I mean, that makes my Brainstorm bad, but at least it's not friggin' back to basics. Holy shit. I found another Narset. I'd love to draw a fetch land right now. That would make me pretty happy. Yikes. Okay, if I play Nadu, green, blue, colorless, here's Nadu. Then I get to attack Narset at least, and if they plow Bristlyville, I might go off. And I guess I'll just put Delighted Halfling into play while we're here. So if they cast a targeted removal spell, I get 1 flip. If that flip is a land, we might just be able to dump out a bunch of stuff in response. The replacement Narset, not even that worried about. It of course can dig to Swords of Plowshares, but they've already used 2 of them. Prismatic Ending, that is not good here. You're welcome to cast it though. In fact, almost encouraged. Taking out Bill is a lot worse for me than taking out Halfling, but let's see me flip that fetch land and get a bunch of cards off of this. Okay, here we go, Bill. It's your time. Flip a fetch land. Nomads. All right, I'll take that. That's fine. That's fine. Resolves. Okay. Our force blue card among the last cards in your hand here. I sure hope not. No! Who invited the cop? Attack Narset. This unlocks Brainstorm. I should have saved my land drop. What am I doing? That was sloppy. Okay. I end up with a land drop anyway. Put back Misty and Plow. Cast Uro. Green, blue, colorless. I don't think they'd counter this, but I don't want to let them if they would. And then I can fetch Meticulous Archive and maybe get something going next turn with Uro as the backup plan. They're down to 2 cards in hand. That force pitched a Lorien revealed. I hope they needed that. the 3rd Narset. They're running. Wow, a whiff. I needed that. I needed a moment to breathe. And they played out their land. All right, Nadu, do your thing, buddy. Getting Meticulous Archive. Force of Will. I mean, I'll just settle into a control game here a little bit. Take the Force of Will. That counters their next spell. I can attack Narset and their face here. And then just hold up Hardcast Force. And play it around again next turn. I'm not going to fight over a Brainstorm with no cards in hand. Because the great thing about Force of Will is, if they draw a removal spell, they can target Nadu, I get the trigger, then I counter the spell. Days Undoing. Interesting. I don't really want them to have 7 cards, but I do want to have 7 cards. But I think it's better to counter this. With the Uro in my graveyard, I just have so much more going on than they do. Cavern of Souls. Okay, Uro. Blue, blue, green, green. Cast Uro, see if I can draw something that targets. Nomads, Nomads. Cavern on Nomad is coming in. and attack for 3. They would need something like Terminus to reasonably catch up here. They have not shuffled their deck yet since that Brainstorm. They do have a fetch land in play. They know their top 2 cards right now. Okay, there it goes. That's a relief. Mystic Sanctuary gets what? Do you want to refire Days Undoing? Okay. That's a lot worse when I have 10 power in play. But, I mean, it is what it is. Off we go. And 7 cards for everyone. It's my turn. Force blue card in my hand. Sick. Allowing my Nadu. That triggers. Puts a force in my hand. That's funny. Oh, I totally just drew that. That was lucky. Sweet. Draw for turn. Uncounterable Nomad. And start the spamming. Flip to Plains. Flip to Teferi. How about I cast Teferi now? Alright, they scooped to that. Sweet. That was fun. I mean, that was just value creatures, Nadu and Uro versus 1-for-1 removal spells, which they did have a lot of, and eventually my thing won out. I like Flusterstorm. I expect Pyroblast and maybe even Blood Moon out of them. Pick Your Poison is kind of annoying, but it is an out to a back to basics. I don't think I'm going to Oracle combo this opponent. They showed me literally 0 creatures. I can answer Narset with Ending. And Endurance is just kind of a body I could play. Force of Vigor also answers back to basics or Blood Moon. Disruptor Flute can name Narset, but her being in play is bad enough. The activation doesn't do the most. Even add Force of Negation. They're a deck full of spells. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just do the Sampler Platter, like one of everything here. I do not have a Thassa's Oracle Win in my deck right now. Just going to have to outvalue them and do enough. No lands. Ouch. Mulligan. Some lands. Keep. I think I want to bottom Tundra and keep all the spells. Let on Volcanic Island. Ready to Pyroblast me. However, I am not ready to be Pyroblasted. Get a Dryad Arbor. Jeskai mana achieved. I think I just want to attack here. I could Ponder and hold a Flusterstorm. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to Ponder. 3 lands, and some of them are basic. I don't hate that. I want the Forest more than the Plain, and then attack. If they Snapcaster Mage me, I deserve it. Oh, I actually needed the Plains to cast Teferi next turn, didn't I? Just don't know how to count. The Meticulous Archive works just fine, though. Archive. Don't need Misty Rainforest. Savannah Teferi. With Flusterstorm available. It's going to be an important fight. Pyroblast. Flusterstorm can do exactly enough here. This does tap me out of the Force of Will, because that was my blue card. If they have more interaction, they're going to win the fight. Teferi's in. All right, I'm just going to draw a card. I would love to have a blue card. There we go. Even that one. Because if they just untap and Pyroblast Teferi, then I at least got a card out of it. Ending Teferi, that's fine. Deal. Nomad off the top for the win? Not a Nomad. Okay, do I just deploy Nadu here? I think I should spend some time building up protection. Even just a blue card, getting a Nomad in play. Playing out the second Dryad Arbor is risky versus Terminus or Supreme Verdict, but that card's just so bad in my hand. Brainstorm, I'm jealous. Basic Plains. Lighted Halfling. Okay. Windswept Heath. Cast Halfling. Leave up Hardcast Force of Will. Pass the turn. The no attack is going to tell them that I have Force of Will, but I'm okay with that, because I do have it. Let it be known. V-Storm again. We've seen so many cards. Stop having cards. Okay, no spells. Zenith. Okay. I can Zenith for Bristly Bill, and then cast an uncounterable Nadu, and see if I win. I have to imagine this is going to get countered. It did not. Alright. Bristle and William get in there. Uncounterable Nadu. They could kill Bill in response, but if they don't, I get to make a land drop and we're doing stuff. Okay, target Halfling with the first trigger. Now if they try to answer Nadu, that's a trigger. I can fetch in response, that's a trigger. Hit another fetch land, let's go. Lighted Halfling gets the target again, just for my own tracking purposes. Dress down. Hopefully that's too slow. Fetch basic Plains. Target Bristly Bill. Found a Nomad, that's nice. Let the +1 counter resolve. Fetch basic Island. Target Bristly Bill. Come on, fetch land. Let's keep it going. Back up Nadu. Okay. Well, your dress down resolves. And then I will play a Nomads with Force backup and pass into your turn and then just spam crazy shit when we get there. Nomads. Doesn't have any abilities right now. Doesn't need them. Pyroblasting Nadu in response. I have another one of those. Okay. Nadu's dead. Nomads are in. Ooh, there's more fetching happening. Another basic plains. Alright, I'll just pass the turn. An uncounterable backup Nadu in my hand, with Force Blue card besides. And I just have some big O's in play. And if they have Supreme Verdict, I'm fucked. I can force a Terminus, though. Oh no, 4 mana. Please keep tapping. No! Oh, that hurts. Yeah, that's really bad for me. I'll Narset. I'll Brainstorm in response to that, because if I can find something to go with Nadu here, that's way better. I will exile the Narset and play Nadu next turn. I can Supreme Verdict. Teferi in the grip. Alright. I'm not super worried about Teferi. Prismatic ending the Narset. Cavernon Wizard. Deploy a Nadu. I'm going to leave up green in case they do Back to Basics or Blood Moon. The green can still cast Pick Your Poison. Green can also cast Veil of Summer, if that becomes relevant. Bouncing Nadu gives me a card. Not bouncing Nadu lets me attack. Oh, wow, this is crazy. Flip Tundra into play. We knew that was there. Blood Moon confirmed. All right, well, I do have my basics in play. I do have Pick My Poison in the deck. There's another Prismatic Ending in the deck as well. If I draw Nomad, we're off. Oh, that's really good. Extracting Nadus, no! Now I have to win with Uro. That was a really annoying card to have. And the exact squeeze of Teferi plus Blood Moon means I can't even counter that. Well, might as well kill the Blood Moon while I can. If Bristly Bill's gone, it's Uro or bust from here. I'm probably going to concede soon. Okay, we literally could keep playing here, but we're far enough behind that I'm off it. Okay, Pick My Poison. Oh, I didn't bring in the other ending. All right, now that we've seen Teferi and Blood Moon, and these prismatic endings seem fine. Force of Negation doesn't beat the Supreme Verdict anyway. And I could go down 1 Dryad Arbor because it's a huge liability versus basically every card in their deck. Maybe I need the Oracle in because knowing that they have Supreme Verdict means like pass piles, like even passing with 7 forces in hand doesn't do it. And Surgical's in, jeez. Relentless. Okay, I'm going to back off 2 mana dorks now that we know they have sweepers and try to play like this. I'm going to fetch my basics early. I suspected that sort of interaction, but now it's confirmed. Lane's certainly going to be some kind of removal spell. You got me. Force of Will. Okay. Yeah, I guess I just run Halfling out. Another answer to a mana dork. I saved the fetch land to just cast Brainstorm with. It might have been better to get Meticulous Archive in the end step. Okay, found more Nadus, another Zenith, and a Shuffle. I don't think I want 2 Zeniths here. Do I want any Zeniths here? I could get rid of Zenith and Poison. And then I can Zenith for a Halfling. I could Zenith for a Sylvan Safekeeper. Well, Nadu is counterable right now, so Safekeeper is not a great. Safekeeper does do stuff, though. I'm going to get Halfling. I'm almost out of those. They've got a fetch. Brainstorm's fine. Wow, that's a lot of spot removal gone. Cavern of Souls. All right, 3rd Nadu. Here's Nadu. Pyroblast is the cleanest answer here. Forces 2 cards. Any plow-related thing is 2 cards. Okay, that's in. And I do have Force Backup if they try to target it. If they just Supreme Verdict it, that sucks. I will have to force a Surgical if they go Supreme Verdict Surgical. Swords to Plowshares, flips Ponder. I think I'd rather just cast another Nadu from my hand than fight over the one that's already there. I'm just Nadu rich right now. He's back. We're just Simic value gaming. This mana does not cast Supreme Verdict. It does cast Blood Moon, a card I don't care about. Next turn, I can Zenith for Bristly Bill if Nadu's still in play. And if I draw a land, we're going. This land does cast Supreme Verdict, and they are cracking it. You did it. All right, that's gone. Found a 1-for-1 exchange. Please don't have Surgical. I don't want to have to force that stupid thing. Okay. Bird number 3. The 3rd bird is the word. That's what I've heard. Ruination. Do I care about this Tundra? Not that much. The old 4 mana Stone Rain. Got me. Hydroblast is a good card. I'm going to Ponder, try to get something going here. There's a Nomad. How do I cast this Nomad? I put it in my hand, and then I Zenith for Dryad Arbor, or a Shuffle, and just hope to draw a white source ever. Okay, Nadu's going. They've got 1 card left in hand. They've spent a Supreme Verdict. We know there is a... Shit. We know there's a Mystic Sanctuary in their deck. They only have 2 islands in play, though. Okay. Dodged. Dodged for now. Gotta watch out for that Mystic Sanctuary, though. That will completely obliterate my plan. Brainstorm, I guess I have to let them have that. Yeah, that Stone Rain actually did matter. I would have nomaded their head off that turn. Prismatic Ending targeting Nadu. So trigger. Down Ponder. Force of Will, pitching. I think I pitched the Ponder. Like, keeping Force Blue card up is just so good here, even though the Ponder does get me closer to Hydro or white mana. Here's a fetch. Ponder. Okay. They're almost out of cards. They shuffled their library. White source off the top, please. Any white source will do. Cavern of Souls. Plains. Plains. We did it. All right. Here comes my bullshit. Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending. Ponder. Meticulous Archive. Puts Teferi in the graveyard. That's not useful right now. Nadu. Force of Will in hand. Nadu. Tropical Island. I think I just hold up Force Blue card, and attack. And then I can flip another 6 cards on their turn. Okay, go. Please don't cast Supreme Verdict. Pyroblast. Triggers Nadu. Might as well target it again, see what I can draw. Flip to Brainstorm. Counter target spell if it's red. That one. And we did it. GG's. That was a grind, but Simic Value Nonsense beat the 1-for-1 removal deck. Unfortunately, because I love what they're doing. This is totally my style of deck. But so is Nadu. This is a clash of two of my favorites. On to the next round. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. I'm on the play for round 4. I've got a Ponder I will keep. Dryad Arbor is such a terrible land when you have to play it as a land. And I talked about this from the opposite end of the spectrum with my Nadu Stoneblade list that I've played in the early access, and then I played actually in the same tournament that Brady made the finals with this deck. I mostly want a normal Magic deck. I'm shuffling this Ponder. I mostly want a normal Magic deck that can hit the explode button with Nadu, because cards like these Dryad Arbors and these Nomads, when I'm not set up, are just so heinous. Marshflats is not Wasteland. A Swamp. A Thoughtseize. Come get me. Luckily, I don't care too much about any of the cards in my hand. Took the Force. Might get comboed out here. I want to cast Brainstorm because that changes the most cards. Cool. Including the Force. I'm going to put back Plow and Dryad Arbor. I really don't want to play Dryad Arbor. I'm going to cast Ponder here with my Tundra. I still have Force Blue card, and now we're doing stuff. I can play Teferi next turn. Or Uro. I will keep the lands. And let's go. If they are combo, I just came up with another Force. If they are some fair deck, I have plenty of lands, Plow, and Uro. Well, my Force is gone. Alright, you got me. Thoughtseize achieved. Both my blue cards are good, though. If they're not a combo deck, if this is like Orzhov Scam or something, Teferi will also ruin their life. Took Teferi. Okay, yeah, if they Grief reanimate Grief here and leave me with Force of Will, that's actually pretty insane. The full opposite of what I had hoped happened. Yeah, they're just stripping me down to the Force. And Ephemerate is the last one. Okay, there's a Grief in play, an Ephemerate on the stack. I'm drawing a land. They don't need to know that. They can Ephemerate me back here, then I cast Uro and hopefully just pull way ahead. And the top card of my deck right now is Swords to Plowshares, right? Or no, it's Lighted Halfling. The Plow got shuffled away. Okay, let's see if they can beat an Uro. If they can, they're in good shape. If not, Uro is the type of card that just solos a deck like this. Oh, they have shown me Opposition Agent, though. Oh, this is really bad if this gets oppoed. Okay, we got away with it. Meticulous Archive. Zenith. I'll keep Zenith. That'll be good someday. Fetch. Do I want Savannah or Trop? Does it matter? My third white versus my second green. I think my second green, or they're both my second green. My fourth blue versus my third white is what we're measuring here. I think I just want the trop. If I Zenith for Nadu first, they have to spend a card on that before they can even mess with Uro. I think I just want to get the Uro in here, though. Or, because if they have Swords to Plowshares. No, I'd rather have my hand empty. Yeah, let's just put Nadu into play. Make them answer this thing 1 for 1. And I get to flip a card, and then Uro shows up afterwards. Yeah, okay. Bowmaster, also perfect. Uro would have drawn a card into this. Not that that's too bad, because I do net life out of it. But now discard spells are bricks for them, because I got my hand empty. Wasteland's really good. Gonna have to find another mana source before Uro can come out. Beastorm. Well, Beastorm with Bowmaster in play is a little shitty. I guess I'll just hold on to that. I don't think I could start attacking. I need to keep these Bowmasters back. Yeah, that Wasteland was kind of a tilt. Yeah, this game is more about me finding the resources to stabilize with than it is about anything else. So I'm not going to try to get into a damage race that I'm losing here. Just need to find a fetch land. Okay. Dryad Arbor helps next turn. And if they kill it, Nadu gets a flip. The old Wasteland may flip a different land into play strategy. Not a Wasteland, but they are now representing Solitude on the hard cast. A card that I also don't mind because that's why I sequenced the Nadu first. Swords to Plowshares my Arbor. Heck yeah. I'm going to name Giant. Let's go. Now they're Hellbent, and I can still cast Uro. Nadu's cracked, man. Interesting they went after that one instead of the Nadu itself. I guess they're just really scared of Uro, which I am happy to oblige. Uro, get in there. Bowmaster triggers, but I don't care. Cavern of Souls on Wizard. They have to go face because they can't just let me flip cards forever. And I am going to still hold back because now Grief can't attack either. And next turn I could start really bringing the ruckus. My Plow can unlock my Brainstorm, then we're just doing stuff. Thoughtseize. All right, well, my Plow's not going to unlock Brainstorm. They're just going to be stuck behind my wall of giant creatures. Oh, shit, yeah. Okay. I want to Zenith for... I could get Bristly Bill, or I could get Safekeeper. Bill's better if I hit a land drop this turn. Safekeeper's better if I don't. Yeah, Bill and Safekeeper are really the two choices here. The redundant Nadu doesn't do anything. I don't need a halfling. I don't think I want a YOLO Brainstorm in to try to combo off. I'm going to get Bristly Bill. And I'm going to do it before combat, because if Uro hits a land, I want to go. Uro, leave back Nadu. Bounce a Fairy. That card's really good next turn. Still have to ping faced, can't go after my creatures. And their life total is going to start getting reduced. Oh wow, we're ready to chump off with Orc Army. Cool. They're feeling the squeeze. Simic value bullshit is just really good against scam strategies. If you survive the early action, and then your cards are all just 2-for-1s or better. Oh, sick. You are out of here. White, blue, colorless. Whatever you got, you better do it. Bounce the Bowmaster. And then Windswept Heath. And we start going off from here. GG. Cool. Basically soloed by Uro. They ripped my hand to shreds, but ripping my hand to shreds just put Uro into my graveyard and then also gave me enough cards to escape it. A Veil ending. I don't want Force of Will in this matchup. Flusterstorm does hit. Ephemerate, Swords of Plowshares, and Thoughtseize, all of which are useful. I could see Endurance being useful. I don't want to have to combo kill this deck. This is one that if I just put enough value into play, they have to concede. Teferi is really good against Ephemerate. It doesn't matter versus Reanimate, but versus Ephemerate and Malika Rebirth and the modern style scam cards, it's insane. I could shave a halfling and then not play Flusterstorm. I think this checks out. Let's do it. Okay, I got a bunch of good cards I'm going to keep. On the draw, unfortunately, which means if I get scammed, it's happening. But Veil of Summer is kind of a forced take. And if they pass the turn, I'm just chilling. All right, Forest go. They know what this means. Maybe I should have played a fetch land, but we have seen Opposition Agent. Maybe that's more reason to play a fetch land, not less. It's been to Dark Ritual. Cycling Troll. I have Plow if they just reanimate here. Scrub lands in play. Reanimates whatever. I'll just fetch a basic plains and cast Swords to Plowshares, which I now have 2 of. I'd love to get this halfling out, but there's no window to do it yet. I'm not tapping out of Veil of Summer. I don't expect this Dryad Arbor to last very long, but there it is. They tap to black in the end step, then change their mind. I wonder if they have Fatal Push or Bowmaster or something of the sort. Okay, we've gotten to my turn. Now I can play Delighted Halfling. Starting to build out mana. Awkward, fragile mana, but it's showing up. And I'm not sure what my opponent's doing over there. Are they on the Hardcast Solitude and Make It Happen plan? Bowmaster resolves. I'm going to let them target first. It's mostly the same thing. Putting a damage on Halfling's interesting. And they're ephemerating in response. Yeah, you can have that. Yeah, that was weird. They could have just let that resolve and know that the damage was going to be there. I could have also plowed the Bowmaster in response, but let's just see what Veil's going to do first. Wasteland kills Dryad Arbor. I'm going to plow this Bowmaster in the end step. Okay, we're into my turn. William Bristles is available to me. The Doctor. Dr. William Bristles. Here he comes. And I have a fetch land ready to go. Fetch land. Put a +1 counter on Delighted Halfling. Just spreading the love around, because I suspect what they're going to want to do is kill Bristly Bill. Okay, I'll fetch for a blue source here. Understanding it's going to die. Tropical Island. Counter on Bill. Ponder. I have a plow ready for a Bowmaster. Zenith is the nuts. I'm going to put Safekeeper in my hand first, though, and then I can Zenith next turn. Cool. Alright. We got some cool stuff going on. If they have, like, Toxic Deluge, I probably just played into it really bad. But let's hope they don't have that one. Alright, they can flicker their Orc Army if they want. They can also flash in Solitude. They've tapped out to do this. I'm going to plow Solitude. Let's get that out of the way. And then I will sack my Trop to save this thing. I can still Zenith next turn. I sack the thing that's most dead to Wasteland. That's not a Wasteland. Okay, let's cook. Nadu is in play with Sylvan Safekeeper available. I am not going to press too hard. I can respond if I need to and start doing stuff. I don't feel the need to just dump lands. They're so far behind right now. Yeah, they have to commit a Solitude, which will trigger Nadu. Then I get to decide if I want to sack a land or not. Nadu triggers. Hit a Teferi. I will give Nadu Shroud, which triggers again. Hit a Ponder. Okay. Nadu's safe. Just looking for a land drop to go nuts here. They wasteland me. This is a trigger. And then I can sack Dryad Arbor to give Bristly Bill Shroud. Whiffed on lands like crazy, but I'm pulling way ahead on cards. Just need a land somewhere, and we're going. Ding, 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 ding. Trigger target Nadu. Fetch. I'll get Tropical Island so I can keep cantripping. Target Nadu. Veil of Summer's in the mix now. Does Ponder actually do anything? Oh, I can play Teferi. That's a good one. White, blue, colorless. Teferi's in. I can bounce the Orc Army. Yeah, I don't want to bounce Solitude. And I'll attack for... I don't need to attack. I'll just let them die. Slowly and painfully. Discard this redundant Halfling. Just gonna turtle up with Sylvan Safekeeper. Their various game spells are extra bad now. Okay, and we got to my turn. Teferi Protection is up. I want to brainstorm. I want to really change this hand. Of course, no lands anywhere. Yikes. Alright, that's fine. I'll put back the Zeniths. They play next turn. Or I'll put back Halfling and Zenith. I'm not going to cast this Halfling. Zenith can be on top. Plus Teferi. I guess I just plow now. Might as well. That gets the biggest attack through. They have to have a sweeper in their deck, or else they would have conceded 100 years ago. Like, Toxic Deluge actually does kind of put me back to a spot where I don't want to be. But I don't care about any kind of spot removal. Their whole scam business doesn't work anymore. Touch the Spirit Realm. Okay. That does work. I mean, kinda. It puts their Solitude somewhere else for a brief moment. Okay, attack with all these creatures. And then I know my Nadu trigger will flip Green Sun Zenith. And I'll end up having to discard 2 cards here. And then I have... Okay, I guess I sack my plains at this point. Because the Zenith gets Dryad Arbor, which is immediately action. I'm going to discard Halfling and Veil of Summer. Yeah, I'm just not going to do Veil of Summer ever at this point. Opposition Agent. And that card's pretty good. Alright, that shuts off the Zenith. If they attack, I will trade Halfling for Solitude. That's why I left it back. Okay, Brainstorm can get something going here. They can't currently punish this thing. Brainstorm, give me the goods. Maybe Ponder was better than Brainstorm, because I want more selection here. There's a long pause, like they have another Touch the Spirit Realm. There's not that many things they could do here, unless they're just taking a walk. Taking a long drag of a cigarette based on their position. Holy smokes. Yeah, I should have pondered, I guess. I will put Nomad's en-kor on top, where it can't get discarded at least. Plus Teferi. I guess I'm not attacking now. I mean, they're dead in 2 hits. But they're also dead if I don't do anything, so I'm just not going to do anything. And I can discard a Zenith to hand size. Dothy Voidwalker, I don't think that matters. You can have that. A Teferi can bounce Oppo, but it comes right back at this point. I am going to ponder and hope there is a white land somewhere. Kind of, eventually. Okay, so don't shuffle this. Play Island, which makes Bristly Bill 4/4, which is a magic number that I've been waiting for. Which flips this Misty Rainforest into play, which can make Delighted Halfling big enough to survive a thing. Now there's a Zenith in my hand. Teferi dies to Opposition Agent next turn anyway. And if I just yeet Teferi to bounce Oppo here, we're in kind of a standing pattern. My interaction does not defeat Dothy Voidwalker. Yeah, this is honestly kind of crazy. I think I bounce the Oppo and just hope it works. They do end up with Teferi in the Void, but I'm not worried about Teferi. Not really. Okay, I'm going to bounce Oppo, even though I don't feel great about it. This does unlock potential Ephemerates or Bowmasters that are in their hand. Something's happening in response. Touch the Spirit Realm? That's strictly worse. Your creature has Flash. Now you lose. Okay, sure. Alright, I don't draw a card, but I do fetch a white source and win the game immediately. Okay, yeah, that was way worse than just letting it happen. Okay. Meticulous Archive. Target Safekeeper now. Flip to Ponder. Leave that land on top. Bristle. Bristle. Nomad's en-kor. You're Hellbent. Flip a land. Sure glad they can't flash an Opposition Agent. Sweet. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw versus a Yorion strategy. I will keep my hand that's full of good cards. I don't even know what the most common Yorion deck is now. I know Black-White Taxes is still out there. I would love that matchup, by the way. There are Yorion Nadu decks out. I played one of those on the channel previously. Wasteland Go, holy smokes. Let me just put 2 mana sources into play that are not affected by that card. They could cycle a Lorien here, or just have Wasteland Go as their keep. Caracas. Okay, so this probably is Death and Taxes. And you know what card sucks big smelly ass versus Caracas? Or makes Caracas suck big smelly ass, as the case may be? Nadu. You want to bounce it? Go ahead. You ever put a land in your deck that you tap and your opponent draws a card? Okay. This exiles up to 1 other target non-land permanent. Okay. I don't care about that. That draws me cards if they target my things, and I can force of will a creature if they play one. Schadenport. Yeah, that card's not going to resolve on my watch. I think I pitch Uro here, because Uro is not going to hold versus this Caracas situation. And I would like to cantrip my way into a game-ending Nomad's en-kor. That's more my speed here. Oh. William! Alright, big bristles coming in. Bristly Bill. Windswept Heath. Target the halfling. Hit another halfling. I know they can wasteland me. That isn't necessarily a deterrent for bad decisions here. I'll just get Tropical Island. And I'm putting counters on the thing that's not a legend. Force of Will in my hand. Now I can ponder and try to solve this problem or just build out my mana. Yeah. Build out my mana for more legends and get in for damage. Finding another force rules that stops the next Recruiter of the Guard or Flicker Whisper, whatever the heck. At the Legacy for a Moxjet tournament that I've mentioned a few times, my good friend Roland Chang was in that tournament, and he registered Black-White Yorion taxes, and an image that's burned into my head is walking by Roland's table, and he had his head down in the crook of his elbow on the table, just basically face down, passed out, not paying attention to the game, while his opponent just targeted Nadu with Nomad's en-kor. And that is the experience of playing Death and Taxes versus Nadu. And here's my opponent bouncing Nadu and giving me a card for the pleasure. I can recast this and then keep doing stuff. Wow, the Caracas. Thalia does stop Force of Will from happening. Is this the fight I want to fight? If they wasteland me after this, I do want to play Nadu and still be able to ponder. So I'm going to force pitching Brainstorm. I want to actually crush them this turn. And that requires having the most mana available. They can exile a non-land permanent. BRISTLY Bill's out of here temporarily. Comes back in the end step. And then I can go blue-green colorless for Nadu. And then cantrip twice here. Maybe I was supposed to ponder first. Oh, there's that shit. Okay. So the sequence now is Nomad, Misty, Trop, don't shuffle. And then Bill will flip the land, which will flip the Nomad, and then we're just off. Okay, yeah, they're just scooping. They don't even want to see the Nomad. Sweet. Okay, Death and Taxes. Prismatic Ending. Like your Poison and Disruptor Flute both have text. Force of Vigor has text. I don't know if any of that is important text. This is a deck I don't need to combo kill either. Thassa's Oracle can go out. I don't really want to Force of Will, but just punching a hole that I can operate in was a big part of that last game we just played. I don't have a lot of faith in Uro in this matchup. They play a lot of Caracases. I can shave one Halfling. I know they're going to attack my mana, but Halfling's also just a bad top deck. Probably shave some Force of Wills. And how deep am I going here? What do I... No, I'm leaving in all my forces. I'm not even totally convinced these flutes and poisons and vigors are important. I think this matchup is just so insanely positive that I'm going to leave the deck mostly intact and bring in 2 prismatic endings. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Gonna have to mulligan this no-lander. That's disappointing. Ugh, yuck. Well, 2 Zeniths with both of the arbors that I would get with Zenith. I'll keep this hand even though it sucks. It doesn't take much to make this hand good. Well, leading on Wasteland. Aether Vial. Okay, that's as good as that gets for them. Nomad's en-kor. If I play out the Dried Arbor, they could just waste it, but I'm going to get it out there because that's how I cast Green Sun Zenith. If it's going to happen, it happens like this. Flagstones, Wasteland right away. Okay, I will play the Tundra because Swords to Plowshares is good against their deck, largely speaking. If they Wasteland me again here, it might just be over. Or they could miss their land drop and just tick up the Vial. Okay, Ponder, get in there. Please don't have Spirit of the Labyrinth. They could have Bowmaster. I care a lot less about that than Spirit. Okay. I like Bristly Bill. I like a white source of mana here. Do I like Bristly Bill? Does that matter? I don't think I like Bristly Bill. I lied. I'm going to put Tundra in my hand. I can draw the Trop next turn, which lets me set up these Zeniths. I can even Zenith for Bill. I'm probably going to Zenith for the Safekeeper. Yeah, if I Zenith for Safekeeper and play Nomads next turn, then I can Zenith for Nadu the turn after that. JK, they drew a Wasteland, which they clearly didn't have because they didn't play a land last turn at all. Plow your dog in response to the Wasteland. They could Flicker Wisp to save it. Yeah, that's gone. That was a really annoying draw. Yeah, that sets back everything I was trying to do. A Zenith for... I think I have to get Halfling now to get Nadu on next turn. If they Vial an Oppo Agent, I'll just concede. Halfling is in Vial. Skyclave Apparition, sure. Keeping that mana denial up. And that's annoying, but I would rather see that than Recruiter of the Guard for whatever nut creature they want. And they're leaving Vial on 3. They're not working their way up to Yorion and Solitude. And the first damage of the match has been done. First damage of the game. Dial on their own main phase. Recruiter. Does this mean they're going to cast Mother of Runes right now? Witch Enchanter. Oh, that's sick. They can tutor for a land now. Busted. Just good deck building. Yeah, I guess that is a 2-2 on the front, isn't it? Cool. All right. Sweet play. White Orchid Phantom. I do play a bunch of basics. And... oh, they're destroying their own flagstones. Okay, that makes sense. They get 2 lands out of this, then. Tutor the basic planes, and then they got a non-basic planes. It's going to be Shadowy Backstreet. Oh, are they mono white? Have I not seen black out of them? Might be blurring together with the last opponent. Okay, cool. Prismatic Ending. Is this useful? If so, how? I would have loved it last turn, but they just put 2 lands into play. I think I want a Cavern on Wizard. That needed to be on Nomad. Idiot. Okay. Whoops. My plan was to play Nomads this turn, but it's got in my own head. I will remove the Aether Vial. That at least cuts their mana in half and removes all the instants from their deck. That was really bad, though. That Cavern should be on Nomad or Core or Soldier. Basically anything except Wizard. Because now if I draw the land, I can't just go off. It takes some beats. And Flicker Wisp can recruit another thing. His force has been really bad. I just haven't had a blue card to go with it ever. Did they get Solitude now to try to put the shields up? The Nadu defenses? Another Flicker Wisp. Okay. I assume that means they already have a removal spell. I'm going to play Bill and Nomads. We're in the YOLO step. Like, YOLO phase of the game is fully here. If they have anything useful, I'm just in trouble. This force has never found a blue card. Their mana denial has been effective. They wastelanded me twice. Both of them were important. This is 7 damage from creatures that are worth attacking with. I will not be interacting with this combat step. At the very least, they can flicker their recruiter to get a Solitude, but looks like they have more, even better than that going on. Ponder. Right, I'll leave up white, I guess, for the chance at a removal spell. Another Zenith and a fetch land. I can fetch. No, I'm just dead here. I guess I can shuffle for a removal spell, just see if something comes up. All right, Brainstorm. Yep, can't cast those spells. All right. Yep, just kept off balance just enough. And I will just submit the same deck again. But this time, I'll try to hit my land drops. Okay. Lots of lands, force backup, turn 2 Nadu, keep. I'm not going to mess around with basics because it doesn't matter. Wasteland's going to affect me some way or another. Dryad Arbor's in, pass the turn. Wasteland confirmed. Do you want the creature or the white? Or do you want to cast Aether Vial? Okay, took the white. Another Nadu. Sylvan Safekeeper is very good. Bring the beats. I will just be relentless in my presentation of Nadus here, I hope. Witch Blessed Meadow. This is the type of thing I would save a Swords to Plowshares for, or save a Force of Will for. I want to get this Nadu in, and I want it to stick around for a minute. A fetch for Tropical Island, and then play Nadu. It's in there. Well, at least get a trigger now if they try to remove it. And if I get this Sylvan Safekeeper into play, I'm worried about very little for the rest of the game. It might be a grind to get there, but if the thing sticks and I can trigger at will and mitigate against Wasteland, all of those things are good. And if they do something like pitch 2 cards to exile Nadu right now to Solitude, then Nadu draws a card, then I replay another Nadu, life is good. If they can navigate this situation, though, I am running out of resources and they have 7 cards in hand. Let's see what's up. Rashadan Port Pass is not going to get them where they want to be. Yeah, that's fine. Tapping that land. I'm going to play Sylvan Safekeeper. Then I'll play this land and attack for 4. The hooks are in. Now I just need to reduce their life total to 0. Or find something like Nomad or Bill to really go nuts. Like if they cast a removal spell now, I draw a card, and then I sack a land to draw another card and keep my creature. If they wasteland me, I just sack that land to draw a card. They have to zap in another Witch Meadow. Destroy all creatures power 3 or greater. Okay, wow. Well, that kills Nadu. Not a card I knew existed. Luckily, the last card in my hand is also Nadu. Ooh, okay. Zenith can get BRISTLY Bill next turn. The replacement Nadu's up. They're going to need another Wrath. How many of those could they possibly play? I hope the answer is 0. 0 additional. They obviously have 1. I would like a deck check, though. Judge, are we sure this is in the list? Recruiter of the Guard. This can tutor for answers to Nadu, but not ones that beat Sylvan Safekeeper, to my knowledge. But I was just surprised by a Lord of the Rings Guard I've never seen, so anything could happen here. They tutored Peacekeeper. Okay, I mean, I played Teferi and a bunch of removals, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, I'm going to start with Ponder and see what this comes up with. If it comes with a fetch land, I Zenith for Bill. I guess if it comes up with any land, I Zenith for Bill. Yeah, I'll just take this land and then Zenith for 2 and see what we can make happen. Okay, BRISTLY Bill, get in here. Put a counter on Nadu. This is the one that can attack this turn. All right, party's over. I guess I could have attacked with Safekeeper if I put the counter there. Missed a damage, which actually matters a lot. Wait, did I have lethal if I just yeet my board? Yeah, I think I had lethal there. Or no. That's not true. For some reason, my brain just went to a spot where I could sack a land and put a +1 counter on something, and it's not that direct. Okay, Peacekeeper resolves. I will simply have to come up with a removal spell to win this game. Spirit of the Lab. Okay, that makes the brainstorm in my hand kind of bad. But drawing cards is only one of the ways that I draw cards. Makes sense of that. Blighted Halfling. All right, get in there. All right, we're chilling for the time being. They have to sink 2 mana into this Peacekeeper every turn or they die. They still can't actually remove anything or really do anything. A land is a good draw from me. A Zenith is fine, I guess. Okay, this will flicker the Recruiter. Yeah, lands are good. Nomad is the nuts. Swords to Plowshares is fine. Recruiter's back. What can they get that solves this problem? They had like Phyrexian Revoker kicking it old school. That would kind of help. They could start eating up my lands by just sending Solitudes and stuff down the pipeline. They could tutor another Flicker Wisp and just try to build out their board for a turn where they just don't pay for Peacekeeper and kill me all at once. Mother of Runes. Okay, that actually does mean I have to come up with the answer in the next couple turns or I'm in trouble. Uro doesn't draw cards, but it does exist. All right, blue, green, colorless. No, I don't think I even want to play this because it can't attack and it might be useful as a blue card in my hand. Next turn, I'm going to have to be really aggressive about just sacking lands to get through the Peacekeeper, but I have one more turn before I have to do that. They have built a fun little puzzle here, though. A Wasteland that will convert immediately into a card if they use it. Mother of Runes. Bought Yorion. In the end step, I can activate Bill. Double the number of counters on Nadu. Let's go. It's huge. 5/6. Alright, deck. Something useful, please. Don't make me just start sacking lands. Ay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just going to start sacking lands. Safekeeper, target Nadu. Sack this Plains. Flip to fetch land. Sweet. Relief. We're going to be doing something at least. I'll target Bill with this. Flip to Fairy. Okay, I think that wins. I'm going to fetch in response to Shroud. Get a Tropical Island. Put another counter on Nadu before it has Shroud. Okay. We're still doing stuff. Bill's been targeted twice. Oh, there's Nomad. Tundra. Target Safekeeper. Forest. Target Safekeeper. And BRISTLY Bill is nice. Second Teferi. Okay, now we win. We hadn't won yet on the first Teferi, but now I can bounce Flicker Wisp and Peacekeeper. I don't want to tap more white than I have to. All right, Delighted Halfling is here. I can use that. Blue. Nope. White. Blue. Solved it. Teferi. I have a white floating already. I guess I could use that to cast Nomads and just flip a bunch more cards. Okay. Let's just see where all this goes. Another Nomad. Another Teferi. A Plow. A Nadu. I think there's one more target here. Nope. Okay. Teferi, bounce, Peacekeeper. Or what order do I want to do this now? Now I can do a bunch of shit. I can Plow the Spirit. That way Teferi actually draws a card when I bounce this Peacekeeper. And then the other Teferi, white, blue, colorless. This one bounces the Flicker Wisp. Then I just attack for 6 or more. Yeah, way more, actually. Okay. I was never really in trouble that game. It just took a minute to navigate the soft block pieces they had. And that is a 4-1 record with Green Sun Zenith Nadu combo. I was actually impressed with the normal game this deck could play. Just Simic value magic cards with Plow, Brainstorm, and Force of Will. There were definitely spots where Dryad Arbor was bad, Cavern of Souls was bad, Nomad was bad, but it was more coherent than it looked on paper. I'm not sure how often you actually get into Thassa's Oracle. Maybe there's like a gear that I don't recognize. Maybe there's Bristly Bill's more busted than I think it is. Or maybe I could have been more bullish with the Safekeeper. Just the second I have this in play with Nadu, just sack all my lands and win. I don't think it's that deterministic though. I think Thassa's Oracle should be in the sideboard or not in the deck, would be my guess. Like Borderland versus Supreme Verdict specifically, and no other cards, if you're going to play it at all. So yeah, a little bit of room for tuning here, but overall the deck is pretty impressive, and I like what it's about. King of the Depths, thank you for sharing this with us. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.